Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of Pixelmon from the PocketPixels server. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. I'm having a fantastic day. As always, a reminder, this series is sponsored by PocketPixels. We're here in the hub. If you want to come join us, all the information you need is in the links in the description, and we'll be popping onto the yellow server where everything is going on. So, one thing, I haven't shown you guys the expansion of Welshurst recently. Look at the size of this. It's not even a town anymore. This is like a full-blown city. This area, if you were to draw like a square that encompassed this whole thing, it would be about 1,000 by 1,000 blocks. Like, I mean, you've seen the size of our house, right? Like, if we go outside, and we just, oh, it's so nice to have an interior again, by the way. A house that actually looks nice on the inside. I mean, if we look at our house, this is not a tiny build. It's not huge. Like, it's big for a starter house, but it's not like a mega build or anything like that, but it's pretty good sized. It's so small you can barely see it. It's right here. When you zoom all the way out, you can barely even see it on the map. This place is huge, and at some point before the series is over, we will do like a proper tour of Welshurst where I go and I look at everything, but that'll probably be like the very last episode whenever that happens. So yeah, that'll be good. Anyway, what I want to do today is a couple of little things. There's a few features on the server that are just kind of good little ways to sort of pass time while you're doing other stuff. Like, for example, at the moment, I am currently breeding Venipede, Speed Boost Venipede, and also Toxapex. And I've got eggs, actually. Let's check these together. Let's see if these are improvements over what we had. GTS cell. So the Venipede has 2 IVs, adamant, but ability poison point, so it's the wrong ability. So that one's just going to get tossed. And this is a male regenerator. These are both bad eggs. Sorry. you don't make the cut. You guys are gone. So anyway, while you're breeding, for example, you're going to have a lot of downtime because breeding is a time-consuming process. You're usually waiting 30 to 40 minutes or so between each batch of eggs. So, oh, hey, look. There was a thing in the chat about Speed Boost, which we were just talking about. Anyway, as I was saying, if you want to kill some time between, egg batches, for example, one thing you can do, there are hunts. And if you look at these, they give you pretty minor rewards. The level 1 hunts give you 1 to 300 Pokedollars, which is basically nothing. I mean, to put that into perspective, usually when you sell a Pokemon that you've bred, you're getting several thousand per Pokemon, so $100 is like nothing. And then you get some random Pokeballs as well. But, if you go out and you catch any of these Pokemon, so for example, let's look at Caterpie, right? A quirky Caterpie. Where could we find a quirky Caterpie? Well, I know Caterpie spawns in, I'm not actually sure. Wiki biome typing is hard. Caterpie. Oh, just kidding. Wiki Caterpie biome. So there you go. Birches, jungles, and other forests. So let's say, for example, we want to go to a birch forest and find a Caterpie. Although I just realized I don't actually have, I think this is probably an admin one. Yeah, hold on. Let's just say we want to go find a Caterpie. Let's make sure we get out our, that PC right there. I've got Pokeballs, so that's not a problem. And if we look at hunt, what was it? A quirky? Yeah, quirky Caterpie. We got to find a quirky Caterpie. So let's go to our box of synchronizers, and I forget which one quirky is, because it's not one that gets used very often. It might be one of the natures that is actually neutral, so I didn't bother breeding it. Okay, so let's not do Caterpie then. Alright, fine. Let's do Lillipup. Naive Lillipup. So if we go and find Naive, which I know I've got in here somewhere. There we go. Grab a Naive, one of you, and then we'll just grab our catching Pokemon. And then where does Lillipup spawn? Plains and Sunflower Plains. Okay, well, we're actually in a plains right now. So there should probably be a Lillipup around here somewhere. Let's zoom in here. Is there a Lillipup on the map at all? No. Okay. Well, we'll just wander around for a little bit. One should spawn at some point. Probably over by the arena, actually, would be a good place to look for it. Because that's a nice sort of open, flatter area. If we just pop over here. And we're basically just looking... although this is not actually going to be a great place, is it? Because, tell you what, we'll just warp to a different plains biome that is not in the vicinity of Welshurst. We'll go somewhere far away. That way we can actually have, like, open land. There's a lot of areas around Welshurst, obviously, that are not spawnable because the blocks are man-made. So we're just looking for a Lillipup. We'll find one eventually. Actually, I'm kind of dumb. If I do wiki Lillipup time, it only spawns in the afternoon, which is why we weren't finding any. Thankfully, it is like 10 seconds, and then it will be considered afternoon. You can see in the upper right the time from Journey Map. So now it is officially afternoon, after 5 o'clock, however you want to say it. That's when it is officially... Oh, it was... I guess we got a little bit of server lag. That's fine. Anyway, it should now be afternoon, according to Journey Map, so we should start seeing Lillipup spawn here. Let's put the Abra in slot 1. And then we just need some spawns. And we should have a Lillipup here very soon. It's not it's a pretty common Pokemon, if I recall. So it shouldn't be too hard to find. We're getting other things spawning. Do I have a Hoppip? I'm not actually sure. I don't remember if I think I have a Hoppip. I'm pretty sure I do. I also have some Pokedex completion stuff that I want to work on as well. We'll get to that later. And you know what? I'm just going to wait until we find a Lillipup. Haha! There's one right here. Okay, so if we toss out, you can see it's got little flames. That means it's part of the hunt. And we've got Abra in slot 1, so this should hopefully, there's a 50% chance it'll be a naive Lillipup. There we go. And there we go. And the uncommon hunt Pokemon has been captured. It was indeed a naive Lillipup. So as a reward, we got a little bit of money, and we also got some Pokeballs. So, you know, just a little time, nothing super crazy there. But if we look at the later levels, like the legendaries, for each one of these you get 2,000 to 3,000, you get a Master Ball, and you get 20 random Pokeballs as well. Now these guys are really hard because you need the nature, you need the right size, and you also need at least 2 perfect IVs, and that's the part that's pretty miserable. If you look at the mid-tier hunts, for these you get 5 to 1,500 and 15 random balls, so that's a lot more doable, and these you need the correct nature and the correct size, and of course the correct Pokemon. So these are kind of cool things, and then once you clear a hunt, you can see Lillipup is no longer on here. It has been replaced with Poltegeist. So every time you catch one of these, it gets replaced with another Pokemon that you have to catch. Kind of very similar to that is Bingo. And I'm sure you all know what Bingo is. But basically, I think this resets every day. And if you catch all 5 of these Pokemon, nature, size, all that kind of stuff doesn't matter. You just need the Pokemon itself, plus you get a free space in the middle. If you catch all of the Pokemon in a row, you complete bingo, and as a reward, you get some vote points, and you get 2,000 Pokedollars. So you can do that once per day as well, and this resets every day. So just kind of a cool little way to sort of pass the time, earn a little bit of extra, Pokedollars on the side, because it's always good to have money, so that you can buy Pokemon and all that kind of stuff. And then, you're good to go. So I mentioned earlier that I was interested in working a little bit on Pokedex completion, and I just realized I don't think I've shown you guys how fossil Pokemon work in Pixelmon. And also, I need a lot of the fossil Pokemon for Pixelmon, or for Pokedex completion. Like, if we look here at our Pokedex, and we scroll down, fossil Pokemon for Gen 1, for example, should be towards the very end. Here we go. I've got Kabuto, but I do not have Lord Helix, and I do not have Aerodactyl either. So the way that this would work, if we pop down here, I should have... Here we go. I was going to say, I should have a chest for fossils. So what you have are you get covered fossils, right? And the way that these work is you take the covered fossils. You can find these primarily in oceans. If you look in oceans, you'll find a block that looks like this right here. And you basically take that, you can dig it up in an ocean. If you use a fortune pick on it, it will give you a whole bunch of covered fossils. That's how I got pretty much all of these. And what you do first is you take the covered fossil and you put it into one of these fossil machines. And the way you make a fossil cleaner, which is the first one, this right here is a fossil cleaner. You make one of these with some aluminum plates and a little glass and a little redstone, and you basically put the fossil into here. It'll take a little bit to do its thing, and then you will get an uncovered fossil? What happened to my fossil? I confused. Did it not give me... Tell you what, let's do this. Let's just try doing one single fossil. And let's just see if this works instead. Because it's supposed to give you a fossil that will say what Pokemon it works for. And each of these will give you a different type. Like, this sort of greenish fossil will always give you the same type of fossil after it's uncovered. This sort of like more rounded one will always give you, like, it's always the same. There we go. It just gave me another covered fossil back. I thought you... Am I doing this wrong? I thought you put it in there until it's done doing the spinny. And then you right-click. And it's giving me a covered fossil back. I'm so confused. Let's try doing this with hoppers. Because hoppers do work. Do I have any hoppers? I do not, but I do have a chest. And some iron ingots. Let's just make one hopper. I don't know why it's giving me covered fossils back. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just dumb. I'm really not sure. So let's put this here. Put the chest going into it. Put the fossil cleaner on top. And then put this here. And what should happen is once it trickles through, we should have an actual fossil, not a covered fossil. Unless it's currently bugged. I haven't tried to do this in the latest version of Pixelmon. Or maybe, you know what? It could also have just been server lag as well. Maybe that's what it was. Okay. It is now a claw fossil. And then what you can do is you put the claw fossil into a fossil machine, which is a pretty complicated recipe, actually, that I won't get into, but you can look it up if you're interested. You put it in here, and it will slowly turn into a Pokemon. Yeah, I bet that's what it was. I bet it was just a little bit of server lag. So I was trying to grab out the fossil before it was actually finished. I bet that's what it was. That would totally make sense. So we'll get another one of these going, and this will take a little while. As you can see, it's ticking up pretty slowly and sometimes going backwards, but it will get there eventually. So I'm just going to give it a minute. We'll let it do its thing. All right, this thing is almost done, and you can see as the process goes on, it slowly forms the image of the Pokemon itself. So this is going to be an Anorith, and the fossil will tell you before you stick it in here what it's going to be. But I also wanted to mention, you can actually automate the fossil cleaning process really easily. You basically just take a hopper and put it flowing into the fossil cleaner, and then another hopper going out. You can just dump all your fossils into here, and they will one by one trickle through until you have all the different actual fossils you want. So, this part you can automate super, super easily. This part, though, not so much. So, once the Pokemon is all done, what you have to do is put a Pokeball into it. So, we'll just throw that in. And then you right-click again. You don't have to battle it or anything like that. But I believe having a synchronizer in slot 1 does still increase the chance. I'm not sure. But there we go. We now have a naughty Anorith. And this is number 347 in the dex. So if we go to 3, it would be somewhere in here. What are you? 351? So 50, 49, 48, 47. Should be right here. We've just added another Pokemon to our Pokedex. Now, continuing on the theme of Pokedex completion, another thing that is really helpful when it comes to completing your Pokedex, obviously, is going to be evolving Pokemon. Because, you can catch a lot of Pokemon in the wild, and you can fill in a lot of the Pokedex pages that way, but you're going to end up with a bunch that you've caught in lower stages and haven't properly evolved. Also, we have skills on the server. You level up these skills basically just by playing and doing various things, and I am really close to level 100 in training, which you get levels in from leveling up Pokemon. And at level 100, I unlock this ability. It's a passive ability where whenever my Pokemon level up, they have a chance to increase their IVs, which sounds really good for someone like myself who does a lot of competitive battling. So I have 2 Pokemon here, a Mudkip that's just Torrent, Adamant Nature, and then I've got a Eevee with Adaptability, that is just its standard non-hidden ability, and Timid Nature set up for Timid, for special attacking. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to evolve this into a Jolteon. That's pretty much the only Eevee that wants a Timid Nature and is a special attacker and doesn't want its hidden ability. Espeon, for example, really wants its hidden ability because Magic Bounce is amazing. Sylveon wants its hidden ability for Pixelate. And then all the other Eevees don't really want a Timid Nature. They probably want something more defensive, i.e. something like Umbreon, for example, probably wants like a Bold Nature or a Calm Nature, and same for Vaporeon. So this is going to be a Jolteon. So first things first, we might as well turn these into proper competitive Pokemon. I mean, they do have, good IVs. They do have competitive IVs, obviously. So if we go Warp EV Hub, we can just EV train these guys up real quick. And the Mudkip will give max speed, max attack. And the Eevee will give max speed, max special attack. So the easiest way to do this is going to be probably to go here, give them both a power anklet, and then basically just repeatedly fight speed Pokemon. And this is super, super quick because, these trainers are set up specifically to always have Pokemon that will give you 3 Eevees in in the stat that is associated with them. And then on top of that, you get 4 from doing the... I just basically skip all these moves. You get 4 from them holding the power anklet. And then, once they get Pokerest, which is something my Talonflame has, that will double. So eventually it gets to the point where you basically battle these guys like 3 times, and, well, more than that, probably like 4 times, and you max out the stat that you're trying to get. So it's pretty quick. It doesn't take very long. Like, we've only battled that trainer twice, and you can see we're already almost halfway to having max speed EVs on both of these guys. So it's a very fast process to EV train. That's honestly one of my favorite things about the PocketPixel server compared to other Pixelmon servers that I have played on, is that they have this whole EV hub set up that just makes EV training so incredibly painless. And for someone like me, who does a lot of competitive battling, and therefore does a lot of competitive training, where I'm EV training like all of my Pokemon with optimal EV spreads and all that kind of stuff, it's a huge time save versus going out into the wild and fighting Pokemon that way. So there we go. We've already maxed out their speed, and now we just need to give a special attacking lens to the Eevee and a power bracer, which is essentially for physical attack, to the Mudkip, and then we can fight these guys over and over again. I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, so we got those guys all trained up. If we look at the EVs, the Mudkip now has max attack, max speed, and 6 in special defense, and the Eevee has max special attack, max speed, and 6 in regular defense. So pretty straightforward. Let's just reset this. And then we need to get a Thunderstone for the EVs. So let's just go shops, warp to the battle shop, and you can buy all the evolution stones here in the battle shop for super, super cheap. So let's see here. Thunderstone, 75 Poké Dollars. Super, super easy. We'll just evolve you, and we'll let this cute little Eevee evolve into a Jolteon. And there we go. Beautiful. So now we've got a Jolteon. And then to actually level up our training, right? Because the skills I was talking about before, to actually level this up, we need to get levels on the Pokemon. It doesn't matter if you EV train them, you have to actually get levels. So let's go warp training to the Blissey farm, I guess you would say. Right over here. What does it say? Evolve them outside the building. It might be glitch. Preventing you from evolving your Pokemon? I'm not sure exactly if that means I'm not supposed to. I mean, it's always worked for me. I don't know. Anyway, we'll just go in here and we'll just do a quick one of these. Mudkip's gonna gain a whole bunch of levels. Jolteon will gain a whole bunch of levels. Don't want to learn Bide, don't want to learn Mud Sport, don't want to learn that. And then I'm just going to run, and we'll see if Mudkip evolves here. I think it will, unless there's some sort of weird glitch. But it certainly seems like Mudkip is evolving no problem. So there we go. We now have a Marshtomp. We don't want that either. And then we just have to do this one more time. And I don't know if we'll... Yeah, we're going to have to fight a couple more Blissies here. Rock Slide, actually, we probably want Rock Slide for now, at least. We definitely want Thunder Wave on Jolteon. We're going to fight just a couple more Blissies. There we go. So now we will have... Swampert. And then it's just a matter of fighting all the Blissies. So we'll let the Marshtomp evolve into Swampert. I've got a beautiful camera angle with myself right in the way, but like all you can really do is zoom in and out. Well, that's fine. And there we go. Now we got Swampert. And this will be fantastic with the Mega Evolution Stone. He'll be a great rain sweeper. So this is all good. Now we can give them both a lucky egg just to get max HP. Or max experience. And then we basically just fight the Blissies. And you can see their levels are just going to shoot up. Like, this is going to take essentially no time at all. Discharge, sure. And you can see we can clear through these teams of Blissies very quickly. Earthquake we definitely want. Let's get rid of Hydro Pump. And look at that, just in one battle, we're already up to level 50 and level 44. And if we look at our skills, we were at level 97. We're now up to level 98 and working our way towards level 100. So just basing it off of this, I don't think we'll hit level 100 just from raising these two Pokemon up, but we'll get pretty close. And there we go, just like that, level 100 Swampert, level 100 Jolteon. So all fully leveled up as high as we can go, and if we check the skills now, I'm guessing I'm at level 99. Yeah, look at that, I'm so close. I'm only at like 1,000 XP away from having level 100. So basically the next Pokemon that I fully train up to level 100 will get me there quite easily. So not too bad. I still got to put the right moves and stuff on these guys, but that shouldn't be too big of a deal. I think I'll just need probably a Volt. I might even have a Volt Switch TM already. Let me go look. I've already got Earthquake on Swampert. Don't need that. Where is Electric? Electric up here. Here we go. Nope, no Volt Switch. Okay, do I have a Dive? That's also not what I want. Okay, so I'm going to have to do I'll have to go buy the TMs and all that kind of good stuff. But that's fine. Either way, we are pretty much out of time for today's episode, my friends. So I think I'm going to call this one right here. If you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Links in the description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, my friends, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.